Anything generally horny is straight in the bag. Adult only. John will let you know it's a 5-track shortlist only, so be careful.
How many you got there?
6 or 7. They found the heat and it's right here at Safari's. I'm Larry D. I'm excited to drop a mix on Platterpus. That's a kind of deep percussive groove I'm looking for to open up the mix. Usually I come in and I check the house section. For this set, I think I'm going to approach some of my back catalogue and B-side electro housey, early 2000s sort of housey options. So I'm looking for anything that's sort of early mid-noughties, and I really like the production style of like a heavy soul bass line, so something that's gritty and hard hitting. A couple options there. Okay, first off we got something that says Sho.R, the Elektro Projekt. Spelled electro with a K, it must be pretty powerful. I was visiting John's store while it was on the other premises down the road before coming here, but I've been working down the road 3 blocks away for the last 5 years, so definitely that long at least. Welcome to the DJ Degree studio. So we started 5 years ago in 2020, coming out of some COVID ISO parties and whatnot. It was a period where I just graduated uni, studying journalism, and there wasn't much opportunity in the industry. I was volunteering at RTR and doing news reading and current affairs reporting and things. We were hosting those under 15 person capacity parties, which was a strange period of time in 2020. We'll get the people moving. I had a couple of friends come up to me while I was DJing at these parties going, "Whoa, you gotta teach me how to do this." Kind of a bit messy at a party, it's pretty difficult to learn how to DJ. So I thought about it and went, well, if you actually want to learn, like, come and hang out with me once a week for a month and you'll learn. Yeah, that's a yes file. It's a good option for today's mix as well. It's got that chunky, funky groove to it. At that time, I'd taught 3 or 4 friends who actually happened to be great musos and radio hosts. I thought, shit, you guys are cool and you're playing really good DJ mixes, like let's host a party. We hosted a party at the Bird on a Wednesday and the joint sold out, headlined by Nicole Philev, and 8 new people were keen to learn to DJ. We did the same thing a few months later and 10 new people were keen to DJ. 5 years later, I've taught over 250 people, playing a huge range of different styles from 7 years old to 76 years old, varying experience levels, neurodivergencies, abilities and disabilities. And it's super rewarding being able to communicate the practical skills of mixing to allow people to express in a new way and learn a new skill, whether it just be for fun or larger ambitions. Whenever John writes superbly crafted, I'm going for that option. I was more of an indie old kid before I was into dance music, and I was probably in my early to mid-teens. I think it was Jimi Hendrix's album with Star Spangled Banner. It's pretty powerful. Learning to DJ, I think, took me a lot longer than it really needed to take. Like, I found lots of the technical aspects kind of just difficult, or I was learning by failing at gigs and just stuffing some really basic things up, and I was watching some incredible mentors and artists and DJs do incredible things, but couldn't really communicate the technical aspects quite as effectively. It just took me a lot of trial and error the first 3 or 4 years, where my main goal was like, oh, I'd love to play a gig at the Bird, and that took me 2 or 3 years to try and find the right aspect of where I could slip myself into a set time there. So an early gig at the Bird, quite memorable, was playing Crab Claw at the Bird, which was really fun. I think it was headlined by Rock Riley at the time, which was inspiring for me. But yeah, when I recognised that I could teach all of those technical aspects in quite a fine-tuned way, it makes it rewarding for me to know that it doesn't have to take 3 or 4 years. That's a kind of deep percussive groove I'm looking for to open up the mix. Definitely a spark in interest in dance music probably originated from anything more jazzy influenced or soulful, so boogie disco oriented, which is what I was really enjoying on dance floors, and that experience of joy that only disco can bring. And then from there, delving into and being inspired by more darker, grittier, heavier sounds that still manage to communicate a feeling of joy. So certainly every time I'm digging, the inspiration for that dig is leaning in one direction or another, depending on what upcoming gigs or what time of year or even just how I'm feeling. Enjoyed this disco edit series, Disco Devil. So we'll see if there's a couple of juicy edits on that. Hippie dance. Deep looped out disco is in the forever dig. As a working DJ, playing resident gigs and shows as well as doing this has allowed me to live a really balanced lifestyle. So I get to work for myself, which comes with its own challenges of trying to stay self-motivated, trying to stay inspired by different styles of music, offering more accessible options to crowds and venues that might need that, as well as satisfying my own creative direction and taste, which I actually find really fulfilling, being able to read a crowd and read a venue and recognize that right now I can't play the freaky deep disco stuff that I'd love to sling to a dance floor who just won't connect, but what will connect and what can I do to bridge this? What can I do to offer an accessible but tasty cut to these strangers who might not be able to connect with the deeper, more underground slices? I think first and foremost, that's what DJing is to me. It's finding new sounds to be excited in, finding a new artist, a new label, because it's ever expansive. And when you find that new gold, that new rabbit hole, that's the joy of the digs. Just doesn't quite have the push I'm looking for today, I reckon. John wants. There you go. That's the tip right there, Disco Devil. That'll sound nice on El Ritmo. I'm enjoying that lots more DJs are digging more dance vinyl. It's bringing more diversity to the sound and style of gigs, which I find really interesting, being inspired by crew like Ningaloo Records. Deep jazzy beat with a scat, that's up my alley. And Stasha, Alexiou and Ben Taff, who are just bringing such a wide range of sound and style purely because of the depth of their digging. Right, this B-side, deep, jazzy, soulful, that's the one for me. Whew. This one's pretty. Classic UK 90s and noughties producer, Inland Nights. Definitely listening to whatever they're putting down. This is that steppin' early tech house I'm looking for. I find recording mixes so difficult because with the crowd, all you have to do is choose the next best track they've got in your bag. But recording mixes, you've really got to be critical on trying to craft a stronger product, I guess. Whereas playing for a crowd, you just got to keep people on their feet. I think I came to the conclusion that any value or quality in an art form is really down to the strength of the concept. So to me, anyone can learn how to paint a painting or use the paint brushes, or anyone can learn how to use a drill and a saw to build a chair, right? But then it's down to the artist to build a concept that makes it a beautiful painting or a beautiful chair. Over the last 12 to 18 months, I found it really enjoyable being able to be expressive through my DJing, whereas the first 5, 6, 7 years or so really felt like I was grinding out the trade. Turntable. Records. Records. This. Bust this. So. So. This. Got you fine, shoulder. So, no, got you fine, shoulder. So, no, got you fine, shoulder. For such a straight beat, it's got some juicy syncopation going on with the samples. 2 more. Being able to get comfortable and capable with the equipment and developing my collection to a level that I was playing music that I was happy with and whatnot, but over the last 12 months I feel like as an artist I've been able to connect with the style and the energy and the expression of what I'm trying to communicate through my sets, which has been massively fulfilling and really, really fun when others connect on that. Today I'm making my way into the studio, filling in for Full Frequency, playing some deep and dubby business. And here's where the DJ mix goes down. Full Freak is the daily dose of all things dance music from 3 till 5 p.m. here at RTR FM. 10 seconds.
We're receiving a transmission.
Keep this frequency clear. Telemetry transmitters online.
I've got the power. Yo, give me some.
Iconic intro.
Better dance now. Watch me dance.
Well, wicked.
I know you're gonna dig this. Hey, DJ!
Made by the one and only Bobby 30 years ago. Kicking things off nice and dubby today here on Full Frequency on RTR FM 92.1. My name's Larry D, filling in for All State. An absolute pleasure to be here. This next track taking us up to the 4 o'clock classic, a real dubbed out number from local act Crucial Rockers. We're going to be moving up and picking up the styles into electro and tech house for the next hour. My name's Larry D, you're listening to Full Frequency. Enjoy this dubby number. As picked up at last week's Platterpus mix recording down at Safari's Record Shack. This is the Crucial Rockers. It's Womack and Womack. With the degree, an early mission was to make it as accessible as possible, whereas lots of gatekeeping DJs might not be happy with that. I like the idea that the medium can be picked up by anyone realistically. And it's down to them to be as expressive and invested and motivated as they like. If we're creating stronger artists who experience freedom through expression, then that's the motivation for me. Working with councils and schools and different organisations, and with RTR FM, that'd be a joy.
Footsteps on the dance floor. Teardrops in my eyes. Yeah. Whispers in the powder room. She cries on every tune.
And realistically, DJing for myself around Perth, I'm excited to keep digging and finding songs and tracks and big silly moment tunes that, given the right opportunity, at some of my favourite parties with my favourite people, they connect with.
That's the end of the dig. I'll show you my basket.